Welcome. Love Them Knives channel. The Belone. Viper Knives Belone. What an interesting knife. Hey guys, hope you're having a great day. Just wanted to put this up on my channel. Got this knife. I saw it and I like the design. And those are the knives I get, or the knives I like the design. And no wonder it's a Jesper Wagner's design box. M390, slender, not terribly expensive for an M390 knife. Lightweight, not a tiny little blade or anything, and it's really practical. Look at the belly on that, and then piercing as well. It's a flipper knife. You wouldn't hardly know it, would you? That is not much of a flipper tab. Kind of a crowned spine there. That's really nice work all the way around. Check that out. Not bad. This is Satin. I think they have some models that are stonewash. Let me see. Yeah, about a 3.3 inch blade. And yes, you can get stonewash. You can get them with the carbon fiber and the bronze. That's what I got, only mine isn't stonewash. And you can get them with a blue liner as opposed to the bronze liner. Or you can get them titanium over blue tie liners, titanium over bronze tie liners, etc., etc. They don't have any G10 models, though. Took it apart. Here's what it looks like. Bearings, yes. They said thrust bearing, pivot, and I don't know about the thrust part, but these are definitely bearings. There's an internal blade stop. Here's the blade stop here, built into this, into the blade itself. Detent ball, these are not ceramic bearings. Really clean looks on the inside. Came apart, no problem. Right back together. So you've got, obviously, a pocket clip that you can reverse. Comes in this little box, and there's really nothing here other than the pouch and the papers. And fairly flimsy box, so nothing special in the presentation there. But it's lightweight. Very lightweight. Pretty good action on this, if you can see. So it's not tiny. It's not like under a 3-inch blade. Mini Doman. Let's get out here. This is, I know it looks pink on the camera, but it's a small knife that I can throw out here for comparison purposes, so we're going to go with it. And yeah, that's a lot smaller. Paramilitary 2 is not a whole lot bigger, but it is bigger. Pull the tape on this. Almost 3.5-inch blade. Maybe you could argue that here, depending on where you want to take your reading at. Overall, not quite 8 inches, just about an eighth short of that. And so you're about 3/8 shorter than the Paramilitary 2. You've got 7 and, well, yeah, a little over 7 3/4. So let's call it a 1/2 inch shorter. And about 20 centimeters long. And, of course, the blade being, 85, 86 millimeters, I'd say. Doesn't look like real heavy blade stock. Let's take a look at that. But you see the crowning on the spine here. Really nice, isn't it? Real finished look to this knife. Little jimping up here. Guess in case you really got up like that with it, which is possible. The old, Shepherds and a farm workers or, fisherman's knife from Europe, kind of takes its influence from that. Let's get back to this. 0.118. So probably should be about 3 millimeters. Not bad. 11.74 millimeters, 0.46. So pretty slender, but about the same width overall this way as a paramilitary 2. Not going to take up a lot of real estate in your pocket. And I'll give you an example here. Let's kick it at this highest spot. Just an inch. 25.8 millimeters. Where, just something like the PM2 is going to be 39.5 millimeters, an inch and a half. So, big difference between these two knives as far as real estate in your pocket. Check that out. Whew. And this blade just goes right into these scales. Nice design, really flows. Even the back spacer is contoured. It's not just a flat piece in here. And obviously, pocket clip flips from side to side. I didn't unscrew it to do that. I mean, I did take it apart, obviously, so. Big cutaway here. This helps you get pass through, disengage the lock bar. I didn't get any lock rock or blade play on this knife. Lockup looks to be 25 to 30% approximately. Let's put the scales down. This is really a lightweight knife. It's good because it's really for all practical purposes, a 3.5 inch blade. Which, look at that, 2.8 ounces. 2.8 ounces, not quite 8 inches, but still not far off. 80 grams, that's super light. Let's throw this on here. Same weight as the Mini. Same weight. This one's titanium, this one's G10. Of course, it's got full steel liners and all that. Nice. It's basically a frame lock, the way I see it. It's really kind of basically a frame lock with just a couple scales thrown over the top when you really look at it. Don't you think? Even though I guess it technically is a liner lock, but these scales, and like the scales act as an over travel stop on this side here, because you don't have an over travel stop built in to the liner. In fact, as you can see, you don't have a hardened steel insert in these titanium liners either. So just an FYI. And let's throw this on here. Yeah, I mean there's no magnetism there. Really, I'm not picking anything up off of anything. Well, pocket clip, I'm going to assume, it's titanium. It's anodized. That, I guess the back spacer is too. I'm not getting anything until I get to this pivot. And I'd say probably this is titanium, and I'm just getting the blade through there. I'm getting a little reading. Other than that, there's nothing magnetic on this knife. How crazy is that? But the action's really nice. Not a very big flipper tap. I like the fact that it's really stealth that way. These little design cues, these holes drilled along here, help the bronze kind of come through. And a hole for your lanyard, paracord, whatever you're going to put in there if needed. See where that pocket clip lays down? Right across the top of that screw, so it doesn't really, technically, does it really touch the scales? It's a close call there. It's really a close call. So that's interesting. I'm not going to dwell on it too long. It's just really an interesting knife because it's so lightweight, yet you're getting a lot of cutting here. And you know, most flipper knives, they just have, you know, they're about here by the time that flipper tab contacts the surface. This one, you got a lot of contact area there. Got a lot of contact area. Super light, nicely balanced. Ergos feel good in the hands, and it's not such a small knife that you can't get your, you know, all your fingers on here. And, you know, you still have a ways to go up here before you come in contact with a blade, so you really even have the ability to move up one finger and do this. Interesting, huh? That way this is more reachable than if you're back here and you're kind of stretching up front to do this. But you can choke up on it a bit as well. Nice satin grind. Plunge looks good. Yeah, I like it. It wasn't a big deal, but I mean, it's not like one of my bucket list knives or anything, but it seemed like the more time I spent with this, the more I really appreciated it for what it is. It's super lightweight, very sophisticated looking, very slender in the pocket, yet you get a lot of blade. And the ergos are really good on this. Detent's not overwhelming, but it's totally appropriate. Probably about a mid-range, you know, between a 3 and a 7, 3 being the weakest and 7 being the strongest I've ever encountered. Almost failed it. Did I fail it? Yeah, I failed it that one time. But it's hard to fail because it just flies out really nicely. And by the way, that's a number 9 Torx. How strange is that? I went to just like, you know, I was going to take it apart and I needed a number 9. Odd. Take care, my friends. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. You know, I'm just blithering on about it, but it really seems to, it kind of took me by surprise, I guess is what I'm saying. Nice knife, you know, it seems to tick a lot of boxes, and it really makes sense. It's so usable in the way that it's constructed. And you know what we do around here. We love them knives, so you guys stay sharp.